It's been 6 months since the world-famous YouTuber Tigabolt has uploaded his last video. His ego has driven him mad, he has groomed minors, and he has committed so many crimes that the world is plunged into chaos. What will this YouTuber do now after 6 months of disappearing? It seems he's about to upload another video, but can he do it? Will he do it? And why will he do it? We go now to watch the following presentation, and hopefully we can learn why he looks that way. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to this press conference today. I know there's a ton of questions, so we'll go one at a time. Yes, you in the back. Well, she did say she was 18, so technically it's on her if she's lying about that, you know. That's just on her. Yes, you in the back. Why, thank you. Yes, it's a navy blue suit. I got it from, like, Joann's Fabrics or something. I don't know, just search it up. And you.
Tyler, where the flip have you been?
Where have I been? Well. Where have I been? I've been depressed. Depression. The wet socks of life. But how can we dry these sopping feet condoms? Why? With hobbies, of course! To the hobby board! Legos? No. Scrapbooking? Nah. Drinking? Maybe. Video games? Yeah! Yeah. Yeah.
If I could describe Elden Ring's DLC in one word, it would be Meet Word Bingo, a faithful man with a little side of mischief. What a cutie! He's going to be traveling these new lands with us as we talk about how interesting this new branch of content is, so please do not make fun of him. He's very sensitive about his new haircut, and frankly, I don't want you guys to make him feel unwelcome, okay? I invited you to this, okay? I invited you! Cool. Anyways, let's go. For those who haven't played this game, don't worry. I'll try to simplify a few things as we go on our fun little adventure. But in order to even access this place, you have to kill a corrupted redhead named Radon and a fancy blood fiend named Mogwin, and once this is done, you touch the egg of a dead guy, possibly named Mikola, and you're transported to the DLC, which is called Shadow of the Erdtree. This place is beautiful, an open field of reeds with a shadow tree looming over with flowing veils in the sky. It's wonderful scenery as we start our exploration, meeting the new people in town and the new enemies in town. I love how the DLC doesn't start with some crazy bullshit, but rather a peaceful opening for people to choose how they want to get fucked. Because boy, will they get fucked hard. The main highlight of this area are the two big castles, Bellarat Tower Settlement and Castle Ensis. Let's head over to Bellarat first to see what the dealio is here. Man, fuck this place. Spider scorpions? More like fucker dorkians. Bellarat Tower Settlement is the first major dungeon you come across in this new land. It's a desolate village with wonderful abominations like manflies and hornscent. As you progress throughout this area, you'll start to notice a theme of horns and spirals, which brings me to my first compliment to the DLC, the theming and design. According to the in-game lore, hornscent are beings born with spiraling horns emerging from their body. They view their birth effects as a symbol of purity, which is why the theming of horns and spirals affects the rest of this new area as we play. It's a great reason to read the lore behind each item you find. It allows this world to make sense in its own logic and for you, the player, to form opinions and theories on each topic presented. But anyways, going back to Bellarat itself, the entire town ends with a big gate leading to the first major boss of the game, Divine Beast Dancing Lion. This boss is extremely tough, but it's not impossible and it's not fucking rage quit levels of tough, it's just tough. I love the design and I love how it addresses that whole theming of horns spiraling out. And if you look closely, it's actually two guys in a little costume. How cute is that? And partway through the battle, you know, it turns into lightning, and then it's ice, and then it's wind, and then it's lightning again, and then you're like, I want to die, and then you know, and then you do die. You die multiple times, and frankly, it's really tough. But like once you beat the boss, I mean, you feel proud of yourself. But it took me, I don't know, it took me about 30 minutes to finally get him down. It wasn't too long, but you know, this is the first boss. I'm sure it's gonna get worse. Now that Mr. Horny Human Centipede is dead, let's take some time to explore the local subterranean lands. Every open world has their own version of dungeons for players to roam around in, and for most of the time, these dungeons are either way too easy or way too boring to look at. But I can safely say that Elden Ring has some cool-ass dungeons. Now, Elden Ring's base game had some stinkers for sure, but every single hypogeal structure in the DLC had something unique going for it. Whether you're climbing on metal pipes in a volcanic colony, or surviving the monstrosities made in the frigid prisons, the world has everything to offer in variety and exoticness. Now that we've geared up and we feel more confident, let's ruin that self-esteem by visiting Castle Ensis. I'll be honest, this castle is pretty linear, but I enjoy it that way. The first half of this castle is a climb to the top with various bitches trying to stop you, while the second half of this castle is a long run across the castle walls. Though the castle is much smaller than Ballarat, it makes up for those shortcomings through its colors and its wonderful boss, Raylana the Twin Moon Knight. I got my ass handed to me a lot during Raylana. I had to like go to different dungeons, I had to come back, I kept failing, I considered my life choices again. This was probably one of the hardest bosses in the entire DLC, but I really loved it. I think its attacks, especially during the second phase when it has that like ice and fire weapon, is like the coolest fucking thing ever. And it has this like bitch ass move attack where it's like pew, 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 and it's like two moons and then she goes down. When I killed her, I got off of my chair and I did a little jig and then I sat back down in my chair. So if that says something about how great I felt when I killed the boss, I don't know what does. Gosh, what a fight! Hopefully that's the only tough boss for this DLC, right? 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 First off, gorgeous AF. Second off, how the fuck is each area more pretty than the last? I mean, is the next area gonna be the Sistine Chapel? I hope so. Anyways, as we adventure throughout this stunning shoreline, you're gonna notice above you a little more Republican-looking area that you can't access yet. It's always intriguing to me that every area you come across somehow shows you another more magnificent, mysterious land you've yet to explore. And speaking of exploration, I heard there's a little peninsula that harbors our next point of interest. The Stone Coffin Fissure! Yar, the Stone Coffin Fissure! It's not necessarily a dungeon, but rather a quick dive into the belly of the beast itself. Since there's not much to say here, let's take this time to talk about another amazing feature to this DLC, the colors. Taking a grim and gloomy world and somehow adding a beautiful tapestry to its design really evokes something in me. So far we've seen these vibrant blues and oranges, but as we continue, we're gonna start to see more red, more green, and obviously purple hues as well. Every location has a color scheme to it, and that just adds so much taste to my dish. It's like you served me a nice sandwich, and in the plate it was served on was a picture of all my favorite things. It's just wonderful. At the end of this fissure is a one-of-a-kind boss, the Putrescent Knight. Notice how there's like a little lisp whenever I have my S's? I hope that doesn't bother anyone. The Putrescent Knight is gorgeous in a grotesque fashion. I really enjoy it personally. One of my favorite things about it is just its design itself. It's this murky looking submerged horse with a skeleton holding this like giant blade with both hands. It's such a fucking cool design. And you can tell it's more than one skeleton if you look up close. It's multiple bones conjoined into this hubris mass. I'm trying to think of like good description words to describe it, but like honestly you could just see it for itself. It's a cool looking boss, and it's a little like crazy. It's got like a little boomerang move, and then like midway through it like gets up and has this huge like mountain of flames and shit. Overall, I really like the boss. It's not my favorite boss. I have my favorites, but I will say, like, if you had to put it on like a out of 10, I would definitely give this like a solid 8. I really like it. I like its design. Its moves are a little meh, but you know, overall, solid boss.
In my troubling times and when my mind feels fried, I know I have a rocky himbo by my faithful side. Say Lou, he is a really cool dude. Say Lou, I cannot wait to finally know you. Say Lou, a big ol' hurdle of girls. Say Lou, he probably knows today's world. Say Lou's pretty cute, yeah, pretty hot. If he was here, I'd be fucking a lot. His rocky cock in my softy spot. Can't wait for his dusty dick to drop. I could kiss him on his mouth, maybe suckle on his toes. If I had him in my bed, I wouldn't be in my lowest lows. This is my actual opinion, and hey, I didn't write this. I wish I had a 6-foot guy named Say Lou, give me a kiss. Say Lou, he is really hot guy. Say Lou, I wonder if he likes an Italian fry. Say Lou, I think this song has gone on for too long. Say Lou, I'm gonna go home and cry to my mom.
Really quickly, do we have to keep doing these like chapter things? They're so long, they kind of just feel out of pace. Like each fucking chapter is like super short. Let's just do this. Really quickly, remove the chapter 8, remove the whole intro, just be like jagged peak. And then as it's like going in, you're just like, wah, and then like I'd start talking. Sound good, future Tyler? Yeah? Yeah? You glad you wasted all your time with those intros, man? Yeah, fuck you. Everyone get your climbing shoes on because we're going on a little hike. The Jagged Peak is on mountaintops of dragons and lightning. More specifically, dragon corpses. Every step of the way hyping up the summit and what could be up there. As you scale up the peaks, the area around you will start to quiet down when it comes to life forms. You'll see more bodies and burdens than anything else until you reach the final summit, giving a clear view as to what caused these bodies to appear in the first place. Baal the Dread. Okay, Baal the Dread is one of the greatest bosses in this DLC, if not the greatest. This huge dragon that's been torn apart to shreds. Its lore is that it went against basically one of the gods of dragons and somehow survived? What the fuck? How do you survive a dragon god? Well, unless you're playing Demon Souls. Nerd emoji. Anyways, I really like this boss. It's all of its moves in the first half are these just empowering just falls and blows. Just sort of, it makes it seem like pathetic yet powerful. It's hard to explain, but I really enjoy it. And then in its second phase, it's just like rah, and then it gets like these huge ass lightning wings. It goes all around. Then you're starting to see, you're like, okay, now I see why it survived the god of dragons. This guy's a little strong. This guy's a little tough. And then it whoops your ass, and then you are just getting your ass whooped. By the way, on the way up the mountain, there's this guy who's like, summon me, make me fight Baal the Dread along you. And then when you summon him, legit, I'm backing up for this. This is literally how he comes in. He's like, Baal the Dread! That was really cringy, but like genuinely, that's exactly what he was doing during the boss fight, and he was helping out. So overall, this is like a great, like, a perfect boss. No notes, nothing. Good job. Hey, little PSA really quickly here. I just got my ballot in the mail. Just want to let everybody know that they should get out there and vote. I don't know who you're voting for, but I'm going to be voting for the person who cares about LGBTQ rights and women's rights, and just rights in general. But you can vote for whoever. Everybody's voice matters, so just make sure to get out there and vote by November 5th. I don't know who's going to watch this, but yeah, get out there and vote. My cat is meowing. Why is my cat meowing? I gotta go. I already fed her. Why is she... Alright. Anyways, yeah, back to the video.
Looking to travel to an exotic location? Then look no further. Come visit the Skadu Atlas, a bright plains with a rich culture. Visit the decrepit Shadow Keep, or explore the vast history of the Cathedral of Manus Meter. Hungry? No problem. Our golden hippos provide nutrients beyond human comprehension, and you can roast a tasty meat at our walking furnaces. So come visit the Skadu Atlas. For only a low payment of 2 great runes and $40, this destination is yours. Call today.
Anyways, going back on track, let's go off track to the cathedral I mentioned. I don't want to spoil much here because it's a really interesting side quest, and I also don't understand the lore that much, but pretty much you just blow some fingers, and then you fight the best designed boss. Can I say something, actually? These bosses are so fucking cool. This is a kind of design that makes me want to quit work and move to an isolated cabin for 5 years in the Alps, just to find the inspiration that the developers had when creating these boss designs. Great job, FromSoft. Anyways, as I was saying, the boss we encounter at the end of this side quest is Metyr, Mother of Fingers. Okay, Metyr, Mother of Fingers is the best designed boss in the entire game. It reminds me of a certain boss that you fight at the end of Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 1, which is one of my favorite side Dragon Quest games besides Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 2 and Dragon Quest Monsters The Dark Prince. Anyways, it reminds me of the final boss of Dragon Quest Monsters Joker 1. Spoiler alert, it's this thing. It's called Dr. Snap. It's got these weird finger-looking design. It's like a fist in a way. It's hard to explain, but it reminded me so much of this boss. And I know I sound very excited and I'm talking fast, but the truth is, I just had like caffeine and it's starting to really hit right now, so like my speaking is gonna be a little fast. Anyways, really great boss. I really enjoyed it. Its moves are very good. There's this one move that everyone complains about that's like undodgeable, but I don't care about undodgeable moves if it looks cool. This fucking creature is insane, and like the lore behind it, fuck, okay, like just cool. I like this boss. Great boss. Again, it's another like, it's like a 9 out of 10 for me, man. This is great fucking job. Shadow Keep, the home of Mesmer the Impaler. In the lore, Mesmer was essentially wanting to burn all of those who were stripped from the grace of gold. Basically, he was Hitler. I know, that sounds awful, but that's why it's gonna be great when we kill this reptilian twink. The castle is a vertical climb through soldiers and darkness, reaching the peak of anticipation as we open the doors to encounter Mesmer, the son of Queen Marika, who is basically the main villain for the base game. It's gonna be amazing when we kill him. So hopefully this will just be a fucking cakewalk. I can't kill him. This is tough. I don't want to be here anymore. This boss is fucking amazing. I love it. I mean, you're not going to hear me complain about this DLC. Like, there's nothing wrong with this DLC. It's a perfect DLC. But this boss is just fucking tough. Oh my gosh. Obviously, I'm keeping my cool. I'm not an angry guy. I rarely get angry. But this boss was a toughie. Midway through, he has this whole cutscene where he basically takes his eye out and he looks fucking awesome. And he's also part snake, so there's these crazy ass snake moves. He's also a smash if you were to play pass or smash. He's always a smash. Always. If you meet someone and they say pass, that's a red flag. That's an ick. Like, that's a, ugh, what the fuck? You get, like, ba 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 ba, ugh. That's basically what I feel. Anyways, great boss, but the DLC's not over. There's still more to do. You think this is the penultimate boss? You think this guy, the Hitler, the son of the queen of the main game, is the final boss? You fucking idiot. You fucking dick! No, this isn't the final boss. So let's keep going. Deep below the cracks of the catacombs, but above the dust of dirt, lies the abyssal woods, A grim, terrifying reminder that dark fantasy doesn't mean dimly lit. The animals here are infested with the frenzied flame, an all-consuming outer god that annihilates the pupils of those who bear witness to its power. The music of this area is eerie. Faint breathing can be heard in the audio, whirling around like a ghost. The quiet choir adds a feeling of unwillingness. It's just terrifying. The music in this game is a wonder. Every area emphasized through its unique soundtrack. Within these woods is Midra's Manse, home to the past lord of frenzied flame, one who could not hold on any longer, and became the flame incarnate itself. I'm not gonna lie, this is my favorite boss of the DLC. Fuck, this is my favorite boss of the entire fucking game. No, you know what, I really like my main boy. He's cute. I can't ever diss my main boy. But I will say this is one of the best bosses of the entire game you will find. It is just such a interesting choice to have the head become this flame of frenzy, and its visuals are stunning. Every attack it has is flowing yet stationary. I don't know how to explain it. It's just such a wonderful fight, and every second that I'm fighting this boss, there's a smile on my face because I love how this boss just portrays itself. It's an old man who couldn't bear his burdens anymore. And so when he separates himself from his own body, he becomes the flame itself. And you're fighting the flame, the old man's dead. This old guy, poor old Midra, I feel bad for him, man. He's just some old guy who some woman was like, you have to hold on to this flame forever and die with it. And he's got a fucking sword thing inside him. And then you come in, and you're just like, hey, what's up? And then you stab him a couple times, and he's like, I can't do it anymore. And then he fucking turns into a flame. So, great boss. This is a terrible improv style, Jesus Christ. Before we move on with our main story, I want to address two bosses I didn't have much to say about because I thought they were a bit lame. The Scattertree Avatar and Commander Gaius. Scattertree Avatar rests at the base of the Scattertree. It's an interesting fight initially until you realize the gimmick. It revives itself 2 separate times during the fight, each newer version having 1 additional attack and less health. It's not the greatest. I love the design of the corrupted sunflower, but the execution wasn't it. The other boss I didn't like was Commander Gaius, or as I like to say, Commander Gaius. He just sucks all around. He isn't fun or well designed. He's a white knight prick who wanted all the attention in high school because his mentor also taught the cool kid Radon. Well, he's not cool. He's racist. That's right, racist. This is my exposure on Gaius. He's racist and homophobic, and one time, he slapped my ass in the locker room before gym class. Not cool, Gaius. Not cool. But seriously though, both of these bosses weren't the best, but I wasn't expecting perfection. Every piece of content or media that we consume has an innate flaw to it that deserves recognition. This is the end piece of the loaf of bread. I ain't biting that shit. We're in the last stretch, guys. It won't be much longer. The script here says to talk about how there's a large fire guy I hate and how the design in this area is beautiful, even though I can't pronounce the name right. Is that Ra-U? Or Ra? Or Ra? I have no fucking clue. But this reminds me to mention the boss at the end, Romina, Saint of the Bud. Romina's great. I love the design. I don't think it was the coolest boss during the game, but I did really like it. Having another bug on the bottom half, hot woman on the top half is like a trope for all of these From Software games, and I'm glad they got another one because the base game didn't have some hot bug lady. It was a great boss though. I love the Scarlet Rot. I like that we got another Scarlet Rot related boss because, to be honest, we don't really have many. So I'm glad we got this bug lady. She's cool, and I like how she's a bit of a gatekeeper for like the next area of the game. I don't think she deserves to be the true gatekeeper of this area, but I'm not gonna complain too much. I like her. I'm glad we got her. Let's move on. After defeating Romina, we can use Mesmer's kindling flame to burn the thorns on the shaded castle, revealing the final area, the home of Mikola. This area can speak for itself. It's a final climb through the ascending spiral that we've been traveling through. So while I ascend, let me give you some context on what the hell this DLC is even about. Marika, the main antagonist of Elden Ring, the queen of the whole lands, she had many children who desired power in different forms. Mikola was often known as the kindest of Marika's kin, showing his love to many beasts like Malenia and Mogwai. But there was something off about this affection. It felt hypnotizing. The followers of Mikola felt this sensation as well, but couldn't identify it until it was too late. Mikola manipulated the masses into reviving what he believed could be his consort, his monarch of the new world. And as we arrive at the top of and near a limb, we realize what Mikola did and who he revived. A familiar foe. He revived a monster we had fought in its decaying form. But now he's back, and he's hypnotized by the light of Mikola. The Star Scourge we killed to get here, in the body of Mogwin meshed into the true form of the king, the all-powerful Radahn, consort of Mikola.
Fuck! This guy is tough. I mean, talk about a tough boss fight. We could start an OnlyFans for how big this curve in difficulty is. Every single move is quick, precise, and bullshit. Many people complain that the DLC was too tough. Well, I think it's just this one boss. It's a constant struggle for breathing room when he's trying to hug you to death. But it's always a video game, they say. You can always turn the game off and go outside. Yeah, well, outside can wait because Papa's gonna make his pizzeria work. I have dedicated hours, no, years for this moment, and I'm not gonna let my anger take control of me. I'm a pretty nice, calm, and collected guy. I love thy neighbor, and I take care of my pre-diabetic cat. I'm not a bad person, according to most people, but today might change that. Every single attempt is useless. You know what's funny? I feel like I'm falling back each time. Like my climb upwards has been a lie and my spiral towards hell is imminent. Was I depressed all along or merely seeking attention through my videos? What if this metaphorical hole I've created is impossible to escape? What if I'm stuck playing video games forever? Is this it? Is this it? Tell me. Tell me that this isn't it. Tell me that video games aren't always a fucking answer. Tyler, tell me. Tell me, Tyler. Tell me.
I guess video games aren't the best for curing your depression, huh? Yeah. And maybe we should have gone for the obvious one. You know, sometimes the best way to cure your blues is just making the healthy decisions in your social life. Maybe we should have done what was obvious.
Hey Tyler, I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. I'm actually about to hang out with some friends. Do you want to join us?
No, but do you have any alcohol by chance?